Vlog Go.
So you guys, today is expected to be a very sunny day. Clear skies and temperatures in the low to mid 50s here in Long Island, New York, zone 7A. It is shocking to hear that we are counting off the last days of January. However, the temperatures are in mid 50s, you guys. We are in peak of winter with such warm temperatures. So I wanted to show you guys what is going on with my flower bulbs that I either planted the previous years or I planted in the early fall of 2022. Some bulbs are planted were iris bulbs, hyacinths, daffodils of various sorts, and of course tulips. The early bloomers, the mid bloomers, and your late bloomers. So I wanted to show you today how my bulbs are doing, considering that the temperatures are in the 50s. Also guys, I wanted to show you what happened to some of my perennials when the temperatures back in December during Christmas time hit the lows, very lows, of 7 degrees Fahrenheit here in zone 7A. During the day, the temperatures did not exceed the teens. So you guys, right now we're gonna go towards the front area of my house. Here I have a very small garden area. It is mainly, well, it's primarily devoted to flowers. There are no vegetables, berries, or herbs growing here. So let me show you what I have here, what is still in its dormancy phase, what already per se pre-sprouted for the spring, and what plants really took a hard hit back when the temperatures went as low as 7 degrees this past Christmas. So here we are. I have quite a few of these beautiful large hydrangeas. As you see, I pruned the top where the old flowers were. I didn't prune too much, as you could see, just the little top edges. So I have 1, 2, 3. This one is really large, you guys. 4, 5, and 6. 6 of these beautiful hydrangea bushes. As you could see, these guys already formed buds, meaning they're getting ready to form leaves. And here you guys, for the new season. Here I have my phlox, my white phlox, tall phlox. As you could see, I also deadheaded the old growth from previous year. But you could see already new leaves have started to sprout and come up from the ground for this coming summer. Here, you guys, which is what I was saying to you earlier, here are my hyacinths. Look at that. Not only did they already sprout from the ground, they also already formed these buds, which is crazy because we are still at the end of January. Peak winter, you guys. Here are my tulips. Look at that. They also have already sprouted from the ground. More of the hyacinths. This one's a little guy. Look, also, you could see the bud already. More of my tulips. I'm sure you guys are going through the same thing as I am right now. I'm sure you came out to your gardens to take a look at what's going on and you saw these gorgeous little green buds coming right through the soil. Here's another one of my white tall phlox. Again, I cut off the old growth. You could see new green leaves coming through already. Here is my gorgeous peony. Again, peony is a perennial. So I cut off the old growth from previous growing season. But you could see, look at this. Look at this. That is the new growth, you guys, for this 2023 season. There it is. The peony is also thinking that it's spring and that it's time to come on up from the soil. Again, you guys, we are in zone 7A, Long Island, New York. Oh, here is my rhododendron. This one is pretty large. Look at all these buds that it already has to bloom this coming spring / summer. Look at this. Some of these are huge. Here, some buds, you guys, looks like they took a hit this past month in December. It looks like it started to bloom a little because the temperatures were so mild, you guys. And then when that cold front came towards the end of December, I know almost 80% of all the states in US went through this cold storm. Here, when we woke up on Christmas morning, the temps were 7 degrees Fahrenheit. The winds were gusting at 45 miles an hour. So this little guy, unfortunately, got some frostbites over here, see? But I'm sure it'll pull through. We have plenty of other gorgeous buds. See, here you go again. Looks like this guy thought it's time to come up and bloom. And then those frozen winds and temperatures came and it took a hard hit. So here I have this pretty yellow rose. It is quite tall. I want to say it's about 4 feet tall. Of course, I pruned it right before the winter started. But you could see here, you see where the new leaves are already emerging? Those red little buds. That's where, you guys, the new leaves will start coming through. So most roses, you guys, bloom only on new growth. So basically, what does that mean? So let's say you had a huge, gorgeous bush, rose bush, and you had gazillions of flowers on it. Guess what? Those same branches will not show leaves or especially blooms. You guys have to prune your roses. So then these guys start to pop up, the new growth. Here I have my 2 huge climbing roses. Oh, these guys are old. They were here back when we moved to this house. But again, you could see where exactly I pruned these guys last fall. And then you can already see where the new buds have already formed. And they're everywhere. Those red little circle looking things, those will be our new leaves. And so last but not least in this area, so these rhododendrons, these guys are relatively new. I call them my baby rhododendrons because I only planted them about a year ago. So these guys took a hit again. back when the temperatures hit low teens. Here I have another one. As you could see, this poor plant, see, got quite a few frost bites here. These branches look like they didn't do so well in those cold temps. But we still have a few more buds left. So here, this will be it for my front area. So now let's go take a look at my other side of the garden. So hey you guys, I just wanted to let you guys know that I have here multiple garden areas in my home here in Cold Spring Harbor. As you guys can see, it got cloudy very quickly and pretty breezy. So I do have the area, the small little piece by my front door. Then I have this raised garden bed area in my backyard, which I want to show you now. Then I'm going to move on and show you the small area by my front door. And then we have this pretty decent piece of land. This area that was filled in with ivy and full of dangerous poison ivy when we moved in here like 2 years ago. So we had excavators come, remove the ivy, remove the poison ivy, remove tree stumps that were in the soil that were not visible when the ivy was there. We had roughly 30 yards of topsoil delivered, mulch, and we turned that area into a beautiful flower garden. So I'm going to show you that area as well. And then there is an area on the corner of our street, right at the intersection, which we put a beautiful campagna pot into, where we excavated a bunch of old bushes, which we thought did not fit our property. We thought did not add any beauty, any elegance to our property, so we removed those. We added topsoil, we added mulch, we planted 3 beautiful lime hydrangea trees, 3 rhododendrons, 3 azaleas, and 3 gorgeous hydrangea bushes. So stick around for that. I'm going to show you that area as well. So here we are, you guys, in my backyard area. So I have this corner space here, which I devoted to blueberry bushes. This one is still encased from last season. So I have the tall bush, a few shorter bushes. These are all blueberries. So the ones with like the red, gorgeous burgundy pigment here, these are all blueberries. Some are shorter, but you could see they already sprouted the buds for this season, this coming season. See, some still have tags, blueberry tags attached. And this one, this big guy, lots of thorns, you guys. But this guy is a gooseberry bush. I still have to figure out a way to maybe like raise these branches a little higher, because once the bush was not so big, it looked, you know, the branches were straight up, and now it's getting so big. Look at these buds, you guys, that now the branches are starting to droop over, and I have to find some kind of a piece there that will help me raise the branches a little bit. So these bushes had so many blueberries on them last year. Of course, in the spring, I put a casing like such, which I got on Amazon, on each of these bushes, so that when the flowers, see these buds? So when the flowers bloom, the birds, we have a lot of birds in this area, they start to pluck off the flowers, then they start to eat the berries. So I try to prevent that. So I always put these covers on, which I will do again. Oh, look, this one still has a tag on it. Looks like this is the Blue Jay blueberry bush. It's getting pretty nice and big. So now, if you take a stop here, you see my raised garden beds. Some beds are directly on the ground. Some beds are raised, such as these. Oh guys, I kept this guy here, but I have a bunch more of these. I got this gorgeous piece from Gardener's Supply Company. What it does is it prevents raccoons, squirrels, bunnies, birds, cats, you name it, from getting into your plants and eating them. So I have these, the wider ones, directly on my ground, more of the raised garden beds. Oh, this is a gorgeous tall grass that I have. Of course, it's in dormancy and we pruned it down. This is another awesome piece from Gardener's Supply Company. So this is a 3-season weather tarp tent that they have, which I showed you guys in their catalog in the previous video. It basically helps you keep the temperatures warmer in case you do plant your plants earlier than you anticipate and the temperature drops. You do not want those plants to die, such as your peppers, cucumbers, eggplants. So this hefty structure with, of course, the tent, the tarp attached, keeps your plants at a certain temperature. Here, look at these. Look at these little sprouts, you guys. This is my garlic that I planted in the early fall. Quite a few of those sprouted. Wow. I decided to use 2 of these beds for garlic to basically see what the outcome will be for the winter season. And look how many have already sprouted. Beautiful. Again, here in zone 7A, garlic loves colder soil. So garlic is something you would plant in the fall and harvest sometime, I would say summer, early to midsummer, which is what I intend to do. So we'll see how these babies progress, how they'll grow. But here, you guys, you could see some more of my gardening supplies from the Garden Supply Company. Again, I took them off the raised garden beds, and in the meantime, I placed them over here. Come March, I will start to put them back where they belong, in those beautiful garden beds of mine. So there is my raised garden bed area. And now let me take you guys to my other area, which I call my rose garden. And again, it used to be full of ivy, poison ivy, and it's something me and my husband decided to turn into a beautiful flower garden area. Oh, and by the way, these are my strawberries. So I planted them in this beautiful pot, older looking pot. Again, right now they're in dormancy, but this pot, you guys, oh, some new leaves have sprouted, I see already. So this pot gives us so many gorgeous, delicious strawberries. In the summer, my kids come to the spot multiple times a day and just pluck delicious red strawberries, and they eat it right out of this pot. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is filled with strawberries in the summer. And here, you guys, we have my huge hydrangea bushes. These, as you can see, are older, of course, because they're so big. I cut off all the old blooms. You see it's already sprouting new leaves. There you go. But this baby gets so big, and I will show you the pictures of what it looks like in the summer. It starts off with these purple greenish pigments, then bright blue, and it's so big, as you can see, droops down all the way to the ground. It is absolutely huge, this thing. Then I have the other hydrangea here, which is a bit smaller. And this one, it's also just as big. This baby gives us pink purple flowers, absolutely gorgeous. Again, you could see where I cut off the old blooms, where the new little buds formed. Cannot wait to see what beautiful flowers these guys will give us this coming season. Here, you guys, I have my rose tree. It is a deep red, almost burgundy color. So I planted these roses into pots, of course with a drainage hole. Of course they're fertilized. So as you could see, I pruned these guys in the fall, and now look at all these new buds. They're everywhere. So these are going to turn into new leaves, new blooms. But this baby is loving exactly where it's growing. Perfect. So in a few months, I'm going to use the Spoma Rose fertilizer again, the organic fertilizer for the roses, and we'll give this baby some new nutrients and vitamins.